All right. Now I'm reviewing this my shit right here. I'm reviewing Underworld. Man, I love the shit out of this movie. This is when I say this is my shit right here, this is my shit right here. Um when it come yeah, I love vampire flicks and werewolf flicks, and this right here, this movie brought us something that we've never had before, and that's actually having werewolves and vampires crossing paths with each other for the very first time in history. Like no other movie has ever done that until this came out in 2003. I was still in high school when this came out. This is my shit right here. Man, uh, don't get me wrong. Like I've always wanted a It would have been cool if a crossover between my boy Blade and the world of Underworld, with her, the character, vampire Celine, uh, played by Kate Beckinsale. Like, man, a crossover between whole world and Blade, in the world of Blade, man, would have been fire. Would have been dope. But getting into this is definitely like one of the most slick horror, somewhat horror, not very horror, but because it's more action focused. But it does have horror elements. So this is like a good horror, action thriller for sure. Pitting vampires versus lycans, which are the werewolves. The werewolves are called lycans in this movie, but they are werewolves. Um, Kate Beckinsale's character, as the vampire lead Celine, she's a badass. She's a badass in this movie. And then you got other characters. You got other characters, and you got one of the elders, Victor. Uh, there's over 2 to 3 elders in the uh Underworld movie series. And Victor, yeah, man, Victor that plays the Grand Elder. Kind of like the Dracula like of everybody. Man, Victor is a fucking badass in this movie too. Man, that motherfucker did not. He did not take no bullshit. Victor did not play. He was an asshole too. Smart, but he was an asshole at the same time. But and he was a fucking beast too when it came down to it. Um, so movies basically about centuries and centuries of a war between the Lycan werewolves versus the vampires, and eventually in the movie you find out why the Lycans and the vampires are beefing with each other in the first place. Why they've been beefing for over centuries and centuries. So the action is very good in this movie though. A lot of good ass gunplay. A lot of good ass werewolf moments, vampire moments, fights. This movie had it all. It's dark, and um, Selena as the vampire lead. Like I said, she's cold. She's cold. She's a good shot. She's a badass fighter. Um, she comes across this one guy named Michael that the Lycan worlds are chasing because they spent years of trying to make a certain breed stronger than both the Lycan werewolves and the vampires to take out the vampire's elder Victor. And then and that's when the character, um Scott Scott Speedman, yeah, his character as Michael, that becomes the hybrid, he becomes the half breed hybrid of both, part werewolf and part vampire. And man, Michael was Michael was a fucking beast at the end too. Him and Victor, clash at the very end. It was good, man. Michael had that fucking speed, man. I mean, when I say he was fast, he was fast. Like, since he ended up, since his blood ended up bonding with both species, like, he became half and half of the two. Man, Michael was probably the coolest. He was probably the coolest character out the whole movie. But I gotta give it to the asshole Elder Victor too, because his punk ass was a savage too. I ain't gonna take that away from him. So, good action movie. I will be watching part two. The prequel, Rise of the Lycans, Underworld 4, and Underworld 5. The fifth Underworld was okay. I love Underworld 4, but I probably say the prequel, Rise of the Lycans, and this one, the first one, and this one, Rise of the Lycans, this one, and Underworld 2, I think are like the best ones in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, man, I wish there would have been a crossover between her and Blade, and I think a fight between her and Blade would have been good too. So as a bad as Celine is, like I think she wouldn't stand no chance against Eric. Which in case y'all didn't know, which is Blade's real name. Eric is Blade's real name. So, but I think Blade would have whooped our ass, though, to be honest. But yeah, but that's my review for Underworld. A good horror, a good horror slash action thriller for sure. Like, man, I watch all these movies every year. So, but like I said, I will be reviewing part two pretty soon. So,